Hello, I'm Angel and welcome to my channel. Recently I've noticed people are asking two questions. One, should I even bother to start a YouTube channel in 2020? And two, my channel isn't growing. Should I just give up on YouTube? The implication being that YouTube is a very crowded field for creators. And is there any promise that YouTube can continue to grow to support people starting out in 2020? I've partnered with Adam to get you a real answer. Hi Adam, why don't you tell everybody who you are and what your channel is about?
Hey Angel, and thank you so much for having me on your channel. And for those of you that don't know me, my name's Adam, and I do videos designed to help you be more successful on YouTube. So if you're interested in building a following, then my channel is definitely for you.
I admit that every time I've seen this question, my knee-jerk reaction has always been to say, do it, stick with it. But that wasn't really based on any kind of research that I had done. It was just sort of an instinctual thing to cheer people on.
To answer your question about whether or not to start a YouTube channel, I would say definitely yes. But the strategy that you use will need to be different than what it was back in 2014. See, now a completely different strategy in 2020 is what's required to really be successful. You see, in the early stages of YouTube, when it was first created, you could simply publish a lot of content regularly as long as the content was at an acceptable level of quality, and you would produce a following. But now, with how saturated YouTube's environment is, the only way to stand out is to produce high-quality content on a consistent basis. A good real-life example of this is Brian Dean's channel. Now, he only has 36 videos, but he has over 354,000 subscribers. And the reason for this is because he only produces extremely high-quality content, which results in him getting lots of loyal followers. To answer your question, should I give up my channel because it isn't growing? I would say no. Now the reason for this is because it takes an average of 152 videos to get your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if your channel isn't growing, it might simply be that you haven't produced enough high quality content. And time is a big factor in your success on YouTube. Not only does it take time to become successful, but the algorithm won't work to promote your content until you have proved yourself as a creator. If you're not familiar with the concept of a business life cycle, then this is a really important thing to think about in relation to your decision of whether or not to create a channel on YouTube. See, every business goes through this cycle, and what sets some businesses apart from others is whether or not they're willing to adapt. So the business life cycle goes as follows. First, there's the startup phase. And this is when the company first starts up and tries to figure out what it's doing. Then if the company does figure out its products and services, then it will begin to grow. And so it moves into the growth phase. Then after this, oftentimes the growth slows down unless the company is willing to adapt and try new things. Then sometimes it runs into some decline. And if it's willing to adapt, it will go through a period of revival, which means that the company has another chance. And then it often reaches the maturity stage, which is where the company is making a lot of money and it has figured out its business model and it's doing well. Unfortunately, if it gets too lackadaisical about its business, then it will begin to decline. Now, sometimes when it moves into the decline phase, the business will see that this is happening and it will shock it into we need to adapt kind of mindset. And so when it does, if it does adapt, then it recovers. And so there is the possibility for recovery. And then the business will continue to keep making money. But if the business is not willing to adapt, then it will move into the death phase, which is the end of the business life cycle. The takeaway here is a business can always reinvent itself. So it's kind of difficult to know when a business is in decline, whether or not it will die. But a company that's in decline is one that you usually want to stay away from. So that's kind of the reason that you're here. Angel, what is known about YouTube's past?
YouTube was started by 3 PayPal employees above a pizza shop in sunny California and launched in 2005 on an $11.5 million investment from Sequoia Capital. The company experienced rapid growth and 18 months later was bought by Google, which created Alphabet and remains YouTube's parent company. Millions of views later, YouTube is one of the most visited websites in the history of the web, which is only 32 years old. But it wasn't until early 2020 that Google released just how valuable of an asset YouTube was to the Alphabet company. Some business reporters speculate a slowdown in Alphabet's growth prompted the reveal. It turns out that in 2019, YouTube was a $15 billion asset.
You know what's interesting is when we look at the timeline of YouTube's history, we see that whenever it runs into a problem, it continues to adapt. And when it runs into issues where it can't buy its competitors' services, it just makes a similar service.
What do you think, Adam? What stage in the life cycle graph is YouTube in?
I think YouTube is in the growth stage, which is the best stage for the company to be in, and it's the best stage for you to start your YouTube channel. But for it to remain in that growth stage, it will have to continue to adapt in order to change to an ever-changing environment. Also, I don't think the need for a video sharing platform is going to be going away anytime soon, but for YouTube to remain the #1 choice for video sharing, then it will need to continue adapting. And as long as it does that, then it will remain profitable for many years to come.
I think growth. So now I feel even more confident telling people to go ahead and start their channels or to stick with it.
All right, guys, it's been fun, and I hope to see you guys the next time I collaborate with Angel.
I want to thank Adam for collaborating with me on this video. Be sure to check out the great videos he has over on his channel. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. That tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend it to people watching similar content. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and please consider subscribing. Here are 2 other videos I think you will enjoy. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.